Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. And it's another beautiful day here in Charleston. December 23rd, getting towards the end of 2020. Thank goodness, right? You know, it's been quite a year, and a lot of challenges have been presented to us as a community and a country, and for all of humanity. But I think the biggest story of the year will be the ongoing story of this pandemic, COVID-19. And although we can see a light at the end of the tunnel, we're not quite at the final chapters of this story yet. Today in the world, there have been over 80 million cases of COVID-19, resulting in over 1.7 million brothers and sisters dying. In the United States, over 18 million cases, with over 323,000 now of our fellow U.S. citizens died from COVID-19. And right here in South Carolina, since last March, we've now registered over 250,000 cases with just over 4,600 deaths here in South Carolina. So the story is still unfolding. Thankfully, there are vaccines now approved and on the way, and my colleagues here, Dr. McLean and Cole, will share some more information of that. So through all this, I want to thank all of our citizens for putting their guards up and for following those practices as best as they could to keep safe, to keep healthy. Because let there be no doubt about it, y'all, this has been a public health crisis. Not a political one, but a public health one. And so it really required everybody's cooperation and understanding. And thankfully, because of good practices here in Charleston, we're blessed that we've only seen, and since Thanksgiving, moderate increases. But we have seen increases. And we looked around the state and around the country and the world, and we see big increases still. Even though the vaccine's starting to get out, numbers are still going up, and they can here. No pun intended, we are not immune to COVID-19 yet. We're almost there, but we can't let our guard down. Oh, through the holidays, we wish everyone the merriest Christmas, happy holidays, and a happy new year. But folks, we've got to keep our guard up. We got to keep our masks on when we're around other people. We've got to keep our distance and just use good common sense and good hygiene to continue to keep our numbers down here in Charleston and the Low Country. So, albeit there's a vaccine on the way, we must continue on to keep up our guard. So to bring you more information about the healthcare side of all this, I have two local leaders, experts. We've relied on their assistance throughout. And I got to tell you, you know, we think often about first responders, about our police and firefighters and emergency workers, even our garbage and trash collectors, being out there every day. This year, 2020, we thank our healthcare workers and professionals who have made just an incredible effort to keep us safe, risking their own lives to keep our citizens safe. So without further ado, I'd like to call on Dr. Chris McLean with the Roper St. Francis Healthcare System. Dr. McLean.
So, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for your leadership that has gotten us to where we are with respect to our community's response and the insulation that we've seen from some of the elevations after the Thanksgiving holiday. I think that is a tribute to your leadership. I think it's a tribute to the vigilance of our community and the adherence to the social interventions. And so my message today is one to really try to encourage the community to continue that vigilance, that same spirit of adherence and observation of the social interventions that we've recommended, the mask wearing, the distancing, the hand washing, the avoiding of high-risk areas and activities. We know that gathering together, sharing meals is something we all love to do. We also know that that's one of the highest risk activities you can do. So please keep that in mind as we go into this Christmas season. I was thinking on the way over here about this Christmas season. We're now a couple days away from the birth of my Savior. And when I think of that, I think of all the hope that brought. And then I'm also reminded there's a process to that hope, that his salvation carries with it a process. And so I think about the vaccine, and we've got the vaccine, it's out, we're starting to distribute it, we're going to continue to do that through the rest of this year, but there's going to be a process to it. And we need to stay vigilant to the things we know that work while that process is carrying out. So I want to give you a message that there is hope, just like there is in this Christmas season, but there's a hope that this vaccine is here and we're going to be able to turn the corner on this. We just all need to stay vigilant. Just like those shepherds, after they came and they saw the baby Jesus, they had to go back and tend that flock. And so I'm asking you to please keep tending the flock, stay vigilant, and let's keep it going so we can continue to beat this thing down. Thank you.
Dr. David Cole of Medical University.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of words, I'll keep it brief. So we've now reached a crossroads, a significant crossroads in this pandemic journey. It really has taken an incredible amount of work, tenacity, personal accountability, and sacrifice by everyone in this community, across the state, in the nation. COVID-19 vaccinations are underway across our community. It's going to take several months to really start to increasingly have that impact. And yet, across the nation and in South Carolina, the virus is surging. It's important to understand now, more than ever, that we must stay the course. Everyone understands and shares the desire to travel, to see loved ones, to gather with family and friends during this holiday season, especially after this long year. But remember, the virus doesn't take off for the holidays. Right now, as we speak, one American is dying from COVID every 35 seconds. Do the math on what this press conference means for those that died during this time frame. Please make safe and smart decisions for yourselves, your families, and loved ones. If you must travel, get tested before you go. Keep wearing your masks. Please social distance. Wash your hands frequently. This is not a new message, but it's worked for us through the months, and it will work for us for the months to come. So please, put that into your hearts, your thoughts, your actions. On behalf of MESC, I certainly want to wish everyone a peaceful and safe holiday season with great hope for 2021.